that add-on there is to ensure that all districts reach their, at least reach their economic recovery target. So that there is an added cost under those scenarios to ensure that districts are at or above their economic recovery target. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah.
On the low income, I know it's based on eligibility for free and reduced, but not all students who are eligible sort of sign up or sort of get themselves, and especially older kids. So if you've got a district that's supposed to be unified, so there's no, it's just kind of a.
Can you repeat the slide so it's not being captured on the video?
Oh yes, of course. Yes. So the question was, is there like an allowance for the fact that not all students may turn in their free and reduced price eligibility paperwork, particularly in high school, and this is something we're aware of. Under the proposal, there is no sort of second option for identifying these students. That said, this issue has been raised a number of times. There's also been issues surrounding schools that are provision 2 and 3, which is basically they have very high populations of low-income students, and therefore all kids receive free meals. And there have been some adjustments to try to address that issue, but the issue you've raised is I think a challenge that districts will face in trying to get kids to turn in this paperwork so that they can actually get the money to serve them and the services that they need. Yes?
Let's hold our questions, then we'll do the mic and get it on the tape.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So the next couple pages just cover the assumptions under each scenario, so I won't walk through them since they're a bit technical and boring. But you can, if you want to go in to look at how we did this analysis, I welcome it, and you're welcome to contact me via email or phone if you have any follow-on questions. So, that's sort of the end of my presentation. I'll just give you a couple parting thoughts from our office's perspective, and that is that the current system of funding is really untenable, and it's really unfair for no rational reason. And so we firmly believe that the projected growth in revenues can really facilitate the transition to a new system while not harming those who already have relatively higher levels of funding. And lastly, there's a lot of discussion about academic accountability and fiscal accountability, and these are two very important discussions. But on the academic accountability side, we're not necessarily getting the outcomes we want out of the current system, which is extremely irrational and unfair. And so there's no reason to keep the current system if we're not getting the outcomes we want, because from where we sit, at least with a system that is rational and funds similar districts similarly, you have a better chance at achieving the academic outcomes that you're hoping for. That said, that isn't to say we couldn't use some stronger academic accountability systems in the state, but that it shouldn't be a hindrance to moving forward with financial reform. And that financial reform, we can have a very robust discussion about fiscal accountability that can be tied to academic accountability. So with that.
Carolyn, thank you very much for a very informative presentation. Several questions out there in the audience, and I want to call to your attention that the staff is handing out question cards. So if you have questions, please pass them to the center. They'll be collected, and we'll answer them when we get into the Q&A session. We have since had some additional distinguished guests join us. I would like to introduce them now. We have Sarah Butler with the Olympus School District Board. Sarah?
Thank you.
And we have Nancy Vandell with the 32nd District PTA. Thank you. And Peter Garcia, President of D'Angelo Valley College. Thank you all for joining us. And with that, I would like to introduce again our Assemblywoman, who's going to make some comments and discussion about the presentation.
Yes, thank you very much, Carolyn. And I'm sure there are going to be a lot of questions because I always have a lot of questions, and Carolyn's used to answering them for me. I want to also just point out my staff. You've seen them in the back. They're great. They worked really hard to put this on, and I appreciate so think that we're going to see some shifts and changes there as well. One of the exciting things that I don't think I really highlighted earlier was that we today did take action in the subcommittee to actually increase the Common Core professional development money and technology money from the governor's amount of $1 billion up to $1.5 billion. I feel that what we've heard from the Department of Education and from our schools is that while we deeply appreciate $1 billion, we'd like more. And this is one-time money, so this is money that's come in. We can't program it for ongoing. I think this is one of the most valuable places we can use our one-time funds to develop the technological infrastructure within our districts to make everyone successful as we do these huge transitions into Common Core, smarter balance testing, and next generation science standards. So I am very hopeful that we can prevail with this one-time money, but it's going to take some lobbying efforts. So I would encourage all of you to use your professional organizations to bombard the governor with a request that the money is there, and this would be a really powerful way of using these one-time funds. And I do have a bill, AB 1186, that hopefully is going to come out of appropriations tomorrow, now that we know there's money there. And it's a bill that would hold the details to basically how this money could be used in your schools. And I can promise you it's not meant in any way to be prescriptive. We really want it to be able to hit your districts, and you have the greatest degree of flexibility to use those funds. So with that, I want to introduce my good friend, Superintendent Joe Ovick. He's done an outstanding job of leading within Contra Costa County, and I think that we stand probably at the beginning of perhaps a new era of county office involvement and collaboration around some of our educational goals and aims. And Joe has certainly been a leader and in the forefront. He's been very instrumental in transitional kindergarten implementations and in STEM and STEAM implementations as well, among many other very, very productive leadership initiatives that he has carried out. So I would like now to give Superintendent Ovick the opportunity to just talk briefly about county offices of education, how this all interacts within the budget.
Thank you. Now, as I look across the audience, I know most of you, so I'm staying back here. I've been around for a long time. Family's been here for 4 generations. No, actually, it's nice to see everyone here. And the bottom line for me is you're here because you care about kids and you care about their future. And I've got 4 grandchildren now, and 2 of them are going to be entering kindergarten in the fall. And we know that little ones that age, when they're ready to go to work, 90% of the jobs that they will be employed in haven't been invented yet. And so we're preparing young people for a future we can't even imagine. And we have the opportunity with this major reform that's being discussed in Sacramento to truly make a difference. And most of you have been involved advocating for children for a long, long time. This is my 44th year as an educator. I've been involved in education for 60 years, from the time I was in kindergarten. I was a consumer, and then I've been a teacher, and on and on. And the last 10 to 12 years, I've reflected that I've always been remiss that I was never in the Peace Corps. But what California has offered me is the challenge to strive